it's kind of a fascinating thing. I think when I was very young, like maybe up until 7 years old, there was a lot of trust. I just didn't know better than to trust. And the trust was placed often in the adults around me. And there was also a childlike trust in God. And then somewhere after that, between maybe 8 to 15, 16, 17, I began to lose trust in the adults that were around me. As my cognitive abilities grew, I grew to be confused by some of the choices they were making, and that eroded my trust in them. And that left me feeling very ungrounded. So the kind of naive trust that I had in my really early developmental years eroded into confusion. And yet there was still something inside of me that thought, I think there is something that's trustable. I don't know where it is. It really is what led me to a path of seeking. That I was seeking not just spiritual experience, but something that I could count on, something I could trust. And I felt there probably were some people somewhere in the world that had found that trustworthy field that I was seeking. And so that it was from naive trust to then finding a stable trust that I could then really land in and live my life from. So again, then there was some significant changes as awakening, did land. So we can talk about that in another round of this conversation, but thank you for asking the question.
Yeah, thank you, Cielle. I love that consideration of early naive trust and the necessary developmental process of encountering reality and the disappointments, and then the bigger questions around trust that evolve from that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's important to keep that in mind. Thank you. Gena?
Yeah, so naive trust resonated with me very much when you said that, Cielle. And I had a very, very similar experience and of being disenfranchised and disenchanted with life as I got older. And then I just really had a sense of, entering fully into just a heck of a lot of strategies in order to make up for that disenfranchisement, to make up for this missing piece, this missing link. And so there was a sense that like life was like a house of cards or something like that, just, ready to fall at any time. And so life was really about managing so that the house of cards wouldn't fall apart. And so I got very good at managing my life or trying to manage my life. And, from all different kinds of strategies that took me into achieving and also into transcending, avoiding, just trying to manage this house of cards. And like Subhaga also, I was stability, that missing link. And so that is really what drew me towards, actually I knew from a very young age, as you said in my bio, that I was the heart of God, but yet nothing around me made any sense. And so I was looking for that stability. And I loved what you said, Subhaga, like stepping into the void and having the ground come up and meet me. Oh my God, I definitely wanted that as well. I think just having a sense of that coming into that, it felt like to me coming into second birth and into the whole being realization was kind of like that stepping off the cliff and the ground of being coming up to meet me and having that stability and that safety. Actually, my whole life I was really looking for safety, and I didn't realize it until after I felt safe. that how unsafe I actually felt my whole life. And yeah, so Second Life has really been about really resting in that safety and living from that place of everlasting safety.
Yeah, thank you, Gena. I resonate with the House of Cards and the strategies, and the longing for me. There was an experience of wanting to just being so bound up, wanting to eventually, somehow relax. And I, medicated to get that experience sometimes, because the system, for me, was so tired of trying hard to be safe and figure things out. If I figure the external world out, or if I figure the internal world out, everything's going to be okay. So, appreciate you mentioning all the strategies.